Hi everyone, welcome to the Countdown to Valentine's Day online card class featuring BasicGrey's collection Hopscotch. When you ordered your pack for this online class, it should have come in the mail. Looks something like this. It has all the pieces and paper that you need to create all 15 cards. And we're going to jump right in here, and for this first video we're going to go through cards 1 through 5. There is a complete instruction sheet over at BasicGrey.com that you can download that will give you the measurements for your paper, anything you might need to know, particulars to make these cards. I'll be mentioning some measurements as we go along here for the cards, but if you have any questions about measurements, please check out that downloadable PDF at BasicGrey.com. That's probably your best bet. In fact, you might even pause this video and go download it now, and then you can have it on your desk while you're watching the video as I walk you through the cards. So let's get started. Okay, I've cut and folded out enough white cardstock for 5 cards. You're going to want to cut out 4 portrait cards and 1 9 by 3.5. So when you cut out this one, you're going to have some leftover space from the piece of cardstock. Save those pieces because we might be using them for cards in the future or even the cards today. You just want to make sure you keep a hold of those scraps. Okay, the first card we're going to be working on is this one right here. And so the first piece of pattern paper that I cut is this one that's on the very bottom layer, and that will be 3 1/4 tall by 5.5 wide. And I just want to show you how I cut out this paper just so you can see what you need to do in the future. So here's the pattern paper, and I cut it across the top just like that. So here's the piece we need, and I'm just going to hold on to this piece because we need to make sure that we have enough paper for all 15 cards. Now there will be plenty left over for you to create other projects with, but we're going to save this scrap because we might need it for small itty bitty pieces, and we don't want to be cutting into this larger portion if it's going to be a small piece. So that's kind of the way that these cards have been created, that if you have any large or medium-sized scraps left, we will cut into those first if they fit on that space. So just so you know, that's how we're going to be cutting these things out. And if you follow that kind of rule of thumb, you should have plenty of paper to complete all of your cards. Okay, I've also cut out a piece of this pattern paper. That's the pattern on the other side. And it is 5.5 wide by 1 3/4 inch tall. I'm going to grab some one of our card fronts that opens this direction. And I'm going to go ahead and adhere these down onto the card. And it's going up with about 1/2 inch remaining at the top. And 1/2 inch from the edge of that pattern paper. So there is the beginning of the card. We're going to take one of the tabs from the Hopscotch tabs. I'm going to take that off right there. And you'll notice it's got the dimensional adhesive on the back. We don't want that because we're going to have it go straight onto the card. So go ahead and just peel it up. It'll come off without any trouble. If you do want to use that, you don't have to remove it. I'm also going to open it up, and inside you'll see that there are 2 adhesive pieces. And what we're going to do is we're just going to cut this tab in half. Then you can take that adhesive piece off, the backer, and then just put that straight onto the card. Just like that. Okay, now we're going to cut out some letters from one of the pattern papers. And this sheet of letters we're going to be using throughout all 15 cards. And there should be enough letters on it, so I think there might be a couple we'll have to go into the second sheet of this pattern paper. But we're going to cut out happy out of all those letters. And the way you want to do it is, let's see, where's that H? Let me find it. It's right here in the middle. You're going to go around the outside edge of the cream that's around the letter. So just be really careful, and then just cut out all the letters, and we'll come back and adhere it down to the card. Okay, so I've got all my letters cut out. So I'm going to go ahead and start putting dimensional adhesive on the back and adhering it down onto the card. All right, now we're going to take these white letter stickers, and we're going to have it say Valentine's Day beneath the letters, but we're going to start at the very end. So what I would suggest is, you're going to take some scratch paper. Just have some scratch paper here, and I'm going to write out Valentine's Day. And that's so that as I'm putting the letters onto the card, I can make sure that they're going, you know, that's going to be spelled correctly. I'm going to start from the little y and go all the way to the capital V. I'm going to show you some tips on how to apply those letter stickers a little bit easier. There are a ton of letter stickers on here, and we're going to use like almost every single one of them. So be careful as you're applying the letter stickers. They're not going to stick down like permanently right away. So you'll have a little bit of time to move them around, but then once you have them in the spot you want them, go ahead and really press down hard so that they won't be moving. Okay, so I've got this little Y here. I'm going to peel it up from the sheet. Okay. And then I'm going to take an X-Acto knife, or you can use like the pointy end of your scissors, and you're just going to have it hold onto the letter sticker just like that. And I'm going to come and place it. And that just allows you to kind of use your fingertip to kind of press it down, but then still be able to kind of turn and maneuver the letter with the knife. Okay, now it's time to add some white stitching just around the outside edges. So with a white gel pen, I'm just going to start doing some little white stitching marks. Okay, so there is the very first card. We're going to head right into card 2. Okay, so this is card number 2. I've already prepped some of the pattern paper we're going to be putting on the card. This one is the whole front of the card, so it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Then we have a tag from the Hopscotch pieces, and I'm actually going to cut off the top portion here so that there is, let's see, 3 1/2 inches left at the bottom. Okay, so we just cut off that portion right there. And then this is 4 1/4 by, 4 1/4 by 1 inch. So, you know, use some of that scrap that you have left over from the card previous. And we're going to start putting this together. And remember, start from the fold. Okay, I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to put it down, and it's going to be about 1.5 inches from the bottom. Okay, before I put anything else on top, I'm going to go ahead and add some white stitching lines, some white dash lines. And I don't need to go all the way across because we have that die cut that's going to go over the center. So just a little bit on the sides. Okay. Put some dimensional adhesive on the back of that die cut that we cut down. Okay, and this is just going to go down here at the bottom. Okay, we're going to take one of the tabs, I'm going to peel this off right here, and we're going to just cut off, in fact we can cut this in half again. Actually no, we won't. We're just going to cut straight down and get rid of the edges. I'm going to leave the dimensional adhesive on the back, and we're just going to get the backer sheets off the inside. Okay. We're going to kind of get that placed under the area we want. Might have to lift this up a little bit. Perfect. Okay, so there's our little tab up in that top corner. Now we're going to do we're going to put some letters onto the front of the card. This is what it looks like when it's all assembled. There are some little templates that you can cut out for these hearts so you can adjust the right size in the downloadable PDF over at BasicGrey.com. So make sure you check that out. I'm going to go ahead and start putting the letters on. You're going to want to start with the word heart, and then and then you're going to start always and have that A kind of nestle in between the top with the dot of the I and then the N below. So that's how you're going to get the spacing just right so that the hearts fit. Okay, so then I just applied my cutout hearts with some dimensional adhesive. And the last thing we're going to do to finish off this card is use a corner rounding punch. And just punch those bottom corners. So there's your card. There's card number 2, and we're going to head straight into card number 3. Okay, so here's card 3. We're going to use one big die cut piece in the background, and then we're going to use a Pops layered sticker right there with some letter stickers over here on the side. So I've started out with some blue pattern paper cut to the same size as the card. I'm going to go ahead and adhere that down. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get that pieces die cut. I think it's this one on the bottom. Yep, so that one right there. I'm going to go ahead and adhere that one down to the card as well. Okay. I'm going to take a strip of some dark pink pattern paper, and it is 1 1/4 inch tall by 4 1/2 wide. Alright, and we're going to have it across the card, you know, just right above the center of this gold flower. Okay. Come off the side there. You can use a white gel pen and do a dashed line across the bottom. Okay. And now I'm going to go ahead and take the Pops sticker. And this is the one we're using, the one down in the bottom corner. Putting that right on the edge of the card. You're going to need this petal to hit the very edge. And it's about where the dark pink and the blue intersect. So just right there. That will give you just enough room to put the letters on the other side of the card. So you're just going to put these on really carefully. Don't press them down all the way quite yet. And once they're in the place you want them, go ahead and press them down. And that is card 3. We're going to go straight onto card 4. Okay, this is what card 4 looks like. It's super, super simple, just the letters being the main standout point. And then this little scallop edge right here. The first thing we're going to do is cut out the letters from the center of the letter sheet. And you can see right here I cut in with some scissors so I could get that letter out. And these I took out with an X-Acto knife. So you can just, you know, whatever you're most comfortable with. Sometimes the X-Acto knife is a little bit easier, just, you know, whatever is easiest for you. Go ahead and cut out all of these letters. So I've cut out all of my letters, so now I'm going to get them arranged on the card. Before I do that, I'm going to do some scallop punching on some dark pink cardstock, and I'm going to keep it at kind of a wide width. It doesn't necessarily have to be anything specific. This is one of those scraps that I cut earlier. So I'm just going to take my scallop edge punch, and I'm going to punch some scallops. Okay, now that I have the scallop edge, I'm going to go ahead and put it in my paper trimmer and cut off this edge so that it's a really thin scallop strip. Okay, so I've got my little scallop strip, and it looks like the scallop strip starts 1 inch from the bottom of the card. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get some glue on the back of this scallop edge. It's longer than the actual card, so that'll give me some room to hold on to it without having glue all the way to that end. Okay, getting it lined up on my grid mat. Then I can go up 1 inch. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and get these letters kind of spaced out on the card. I'm just going to, in fact, I'm going to unfold this right here. And I'm going to start placing the letters onto the card. I'm going to place them on there and get the arrangement I want first. And then I'll pick each one up individually, put the dimensional adhesive underneath, and then press it down. Okay, so I've put them all down with some dimensional adhesive. The last thing I'm going to do is take my white gel pen and do white dashed lines across this scallop edge. And that finishes up card 4. We're going to head right into the last card, which is one of these long cards. We're going to do that right now. For the last card of today's video, we're going to be doing this long card, which is 9 inches by 3.5 inches tall. And we're going to start out with some pattern paper that I've cut down. The first piece is right here, and it's about 1.5 inches tall. I'm going to go ahead and adhere that down to the bottom of the card. All right, and then I have this long dark pink piece. And I'm going to go ahead and punch that with a scallop edge punch. This is actually 12 inches wide because I'm going to punch it and then put it onto the card and make it centered so that the scallops are spaced just right. Okay, and just like we did with the card previously, I'm going to go ahead and put this in my paper trimmer and cut off enough so that it's just a little strip. We're going to take this blue pattern paper and we're going to put that up at the top. Okay, we're going to take this piece right here that's cut to, it's just larger than 3/4 of an inch. And I'm just going to place that about, right there. Okay, and now we're going to take this scallop edge and we're going to put it just underneath that right there. So I'm actually going to run the adhesive on the card. Put a little line of glue. Okay. Get that lined up just right. I'm going to run some white gel pen and a dashed line. It's kind of our theme here on these cards. Okay, now we're going to start assembling this piece right here that goes in the center of the card. Start out with this large flower piece from the Pieces die cuts. And we're going to cut out a circle that is 2.25 inches wide out of the letters paper. So this paper right here, since you've been cutting out letters out of this sheet, go ahead and go to your second sheet and we'll be cutting out of that one. Okay, so there's my 2.25 inch piece. I'm going to go ahead and adhere that down onto the die cut. Just like that. Okay, now we're going to take one of the templates and sit in the PDF, and we're going to cut out a heart out of this brown with light pink swirls pattern paper. Here's the fastest way that I discovered to use templates that you print out on your computer. Go ahead and print it out and then trim out the excess. Then I'm going to use some removable adhesive. And I'm just going to put it up here in the corner. And then I'll use my scissors. And I'm just going to cut around this little area and set this aside. And now I can cut it by hand and just follow that template. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take this heart and I'm going to adhere it down onto this scrap of white cardstock. I'm going to get it nestled right in there. And then I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to go around the heart, keeping just a slight white border. Okay, so here's our die cut piece. We're going to go ahead and adhere this heart to the side here using some dimensional adhesive. And then we're going to take one of these layered stickers, this one down here with the rhinestone on it. And we're just going to add that right there on the side. Okay, and now we're ready to add this piece to our card. I'm going to put some dimensional adhesive on the back. Okay, then we'll just put it right there. Actually, a little over to the side right there. Okay. And now we're going to take the small letter stickers that say crazy with the number 4U. I'm going to go ahead and apply those over here. Go ahead and start from the U, so you're going to go backwards. And if it helps, you can write out the words like we did before with Valentine's Day. So just go ahead and put your letter stickers on there right now. Okay, the last thing we're going to do is round these bottom corners. Okay, and the card is all done. So this is the very last card. Go ahead and join me next Wednesday for cards 6 through 10. And I'll see you guys then. Have so much fun making your cards, and I'll see you guys later.